I can't.
Thank you. It's been very exciting this morning. I'm happy that we're getting a full house as the time goes on. First, I have to thank Pastor Kenna for the respect he accorded to my institution, United Bank for Africa PLC. I also thank you so much for doing a little work on behind the scene about me, and for John, who introduced me to Faith House, to be part of your program today. You know, in life, you never miss an opportunity to transfer whatever you have come across in life so that others can also benefit from you. So my being here today is also an opportunity to benefit from you. I've so much benefited from the presentation of Pastor Kenna, so much. I also took my notes, and I'm happy that a lot of us took our notes. And as I speak to you, I also see my very good friend. Only that I think some people call him Megemu, is it right? Yeah, his Biabia has now made me to look 2 times before I know whether it is him or not. And that's Ade. From a distance, I've been trying to be sure that this is Ade, but this is Beers has made me to think twice whether it's him. Ade, thank you. Thank you for seeing you again. I came in quite, I think at the appropriate time. Came in at about 8:45, and when I spoke with Pastor Johnson, said I was very early. When he said that, I was asking myself whether the program was 10 o'clock, but he confirmed it was 9. So by training, if you have a program by 9 and you come in 8:45, I think that's the right time. And even what Pastor Kenna said, he also alluded to that. And to tell you truly, also gave me opportunity that I didn't plan when I was coming. And that's to know more about you. So by virtue of training, the job we do, it's nice when you arrive at a customer's place without announcing yourself, without the customer knowing you're present. It gives you opportunity to know truly who the customer is. Because once your presence is announced anywhere, people begin to do what? Adjust themselves. So it also gave me opportunity to know more. I moved around, so I can write a book about what I saw today. Both spoken and unspoken. And that is actually what makes you somebody different amongst others. We are talking of transforming leadership. So we need to take it from that point. Time. He said so much about it. And those are one of the things we pick. Because my understanding of time for this program was 9 to 12. I've kept an appointment for 1 o'clock. And I will plead that I be permitted to leave before 1 o'clock, so that I also do not fail that appointment, which may eventually have chain reaction. But for the time we spend here today, whether 10 minutes, 5 minutes, I'm sure, to the glory of God, there'll be a lot that we will take away with. I'm talking about taking away things. There's something we'll say, and they also say it in management schools, and then in practice. Most of the times, it's not the strategy. It's not what you hear, but what you do after you have heard. Are we on the same page? What do you do after you have heard? It is called execution. Beautiful strategies all over the world, but how many of them are executed? I'm sure that most of what INT'L spoke about, you must have heard in one way or the other. And whatever I'm going to speak, or whatever I'm going to say is also a refresher, because I'm sure you've heard all of them. But what makes the difference is what we do when we live here. I was advised to speak on financial responsibility and business development for the success of today's man. And I will also add for today's women. And my discussion is supposed to take care of the following. I need to challenge us, motivate us, just like Pastor IKENNA has done, to rise to the responsibilities that lie ahead and around us, to edify and reorient men on the fundamental issues in finance, to instruct and advise on investment opportunities, and then advise people on how to build profitable networks. And I'm supposed to garnish this with my practical experiences. When I thought through this, I just said, how are we going to do this? And I decided that we're going to sum everything under a topic: building sustainable, strong financial brand. It's interesting, Pastor IKENNA, that while we were speaking, he spoke about brand. So asking me to speak about these things and then relate them with my practical experience, I thought the best thing to think about is that how do we build sustainable, strong financial brand? Personal financial brand. What is brand? Identity, your personality. How people recognize you from the crowd. It's a concept, an intangible concept for that matter. What are you? How can you be defined? How are you different from the rest? My name is Raymond Kelechukwu Ahumibe. Is that a summation of my brand? How do I think? How do I speak? How do I respond to issues? What are my beliefs? Who are those I'm associated with? These all put together defines my brand. So brand is an intangible concept that defines either a company or a product or a person. I know all of us here have an idea of some great brands. Is anybody in doubt of Coca-Cola? A lot of us here, we are born, we saw Coca-Cola, true or false? And Coca-Cola is still there. Even when they tell us that there's so much sugar in Coca-Cola and that it causes diabetes, right? I'm sure that nothing less than half of us have taken Coca-Cola in the past 1 week. True or false? Is it a great brand? It's a great brand. You love it. Good. Toyota. When it comes to cars, is Toyota a great brand? It's a great brand. Mercedes-Benz, is it a great brand? It's a great brand. You also go to human beings. Bill Gates, is he a great brand? Is a great brand. Good. Is Abacha a great brand? Somebody say he's not even a brand. We'll talk about that. So when we are talking of financial brand, personal financial brand, it's not just your name or your logo, but it is that thing, that content that is in you that distinguishes you from others. And that content that is in you has to be such that it makes you marketable. That's the positive sense of brand. That content that is in you makes you what? Marketable. I just mentioned some names and you chorused positively. I also mentioned some and we didn't get same unanimous positive response. True or false? So the essence of a brand is it presents you in such a manner that you are positive, that people want to be associated with you. So when we are talking of strong personal financial brand, you want to be that on mention of your name, in fact somebody says you're a key to open doors. When people say they are associated with you, people stand up and say, okay, that must be good. And people say they are associated with you, people step back. That is what we're trying to, in the next few minutes, say how we achieve it. So you need to take a time to define what financial brand you want to be. Luckily for me, I defined the financial brand I want to be when I was under 16. By grace of God, I was born 1964, and I took my school start in 1980. But before then, I had made a decision on the financial brand I want to be. And probably at that age, I can't imagine myself being so wise, so thoughtful to come up to that. Maybe that can allude to the God factor Pastor IKENNA talked about. Because something inspires you to something. And you know what my financial brand was? I spoke about it. I told my friends, I said, I didn't even say by God's grace. I just said, I will not be a millionaire, but a millionaire will not buy me. I will not be a millionaire, but a millionaire cannot buy me. Your statement of financial brand has to be very conceptual, has to be strategic, and has to be what? Intentional. Think about that. I'll not be a millionaire, but a millionaire will not buy me. How can a millionaire not buy you? That means you must be worth more than a millionaire. True or false? I'm thinking about that. As far back as then, I had a role model in this space. Because it's always good to put things in context. Somehow we have been made to think that there are no great role models around us. Somehow we've been made to think that only good things come from outside the shores of this country. It's not true. Within and around us, there are a lot of great things, a lot of great people. I had a role model in a man called Dr. Umez Eronim of blessed memory today. He used to be the traditional ruler of our Bill. But before then, Mezrika Hospital. But before then, Pinewood Hotel. That man was my role model. As a little child going to hospital, I saw Mezrika Hospital standing out. Hate them, love them, don't agree with them. I've not been there in the past 10 years or more. Probably it's one of the oldest private hospitals in this town today. Even when the man has passed, how many years ago? That hospital is still standing. And go into that hospital, I bet you, I've not been there in the past 10 years, but I bet you standing here that you'll be proud you entered a private hospital. Relative to what we have. As a young man, I studied him. I followed up on him, and I got to know he owns Pinewood Hotel. Then in high school, I decided to go to Pinewood Hotel to buy their meat pie. And for anybody who knows, it was one of the best meat pie places after Triple M's place. Eh? Pinewood Hotel. Fantastic meat pie. And that fateful evening, I saw him clutching a jug of beer, walking around the hotel, checking what they are doing. That's a foremost consultant, distinguished medical practitioner. I'm sure he has finished consulting and is always in his hospital. Not like most of the things we hear today. They say the man, this doctor, this consultant comes Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Not Dr. Meza. He's always there. And then in the evening, he'll come to Pinewood, clutch a jug of beer, and will be moving around. And from time to time, he'll stop to sit. I saw glamour. I saw hard work. I saw a man focused in him. Today we talk about environmental sanitation. That was the first chairman of Keep Owerri Beautiful. The man I speak about. And that was when Owerri was so beautiful that other states were coming to Owerri to take clips, blueprint of how to keep a city beautiful. Why am I spending time on that? I said he's my role model. He's an accomplished professional, a hardworking person that gave time to community development, because whatever he was doing with Keep Owerri Beautiful has nothing to do with his personal pocket. True or false? He had his professional training as a medical doctor. He gave time to it, and yet gave time to strong enterprise and entrepreneurship in the hotel industry. Until later days, Pinewood continued to stand out as one of the best hotels. That was my role model. And in that man, I saw a man that is humble, quiet. It's only later I realized that, mind you, I was seeing this with an eye of somebody who's under 16. It was later that I realized that that man was a billionaire. But my perception of him, that this is a millionaire, that a millionaire cannot buy because he was quiet. His car was Mercedes 190E. He didn't know who I was, but I had all this impression and knowledge about him. But thank God later in life our paths met. in the course of business. Supporting my wife to do, develop her business, we had need to take part of his space in Pinewood Hotel. And as we converse, I said to myself, this man didn't know that as far back as years back, I had my impression about him. Was he a successful financial brand? I think he is one of the best successful financial brands in this town. His people called him and begged him to come and be their traditional ruler. So you need to make a choice. What financial brand do you want to be? You need to make a choice. If you don't, people will make that choice for you. If you don't decide the brand you want to be, the concept you want to be, what you want to profess, people will make it for you. And the only way you assert it is you live it. We call it living the brand. So that whenever your name is mentioned, people can say unequivocally that that's the man. Is it the type when he gives money the whole world will know? Newspapers will write it even if before it was given? Is it the type when he comes into a place up at Uzoma and there's noise all over the place? Is that the type you want? That's my brand. I don't know of your brand. Brand is important. It's what makes a memorable impression on people about you and enables them to know what to expect from you at every point in time. So talking of financial brand, I decided to take a little time for us to understand the brand concept. So what financial brand do you want to build? And in taking us there, I will just go straight to a document which has been going around in social media, which probably some of you have come across, because when the responsibility to do this talk came to me, I just remembered this particular piece of information, and I said it forms a key of our discussion today. I decided to print it so I can leave it, otherwise I can also transfer it to people. I'm not the author, it's not about me, but I align totally with the content. And it's about Bill Gates, his response to the issue of money and wealth. And I ask you to please just listen attentively. Somebody authored this. A few years ago, I attended a conference in the United States on investment and finance. One of the speakers was Bill Gates. And during the question and answer phase, I asked him, that's the author is saying this, I asked him a question that had everyone laughing. And the question is, if he, Bill Gates, the richest man in the world, could accept his daughter marry a poor or modest man? That was the question this particular person asked Bill Gates. And he said Bill Gates' answer changed something in him. Mind you, this is the question he asked and everybody was laughing. And I'm sure some people that said, what stupid question is this? Of all the things you ask Bill Gates, what they're going to ask him is about his daughter marrying a poor man. Maybe if you were there, we'll ask Bill Gates, how do I make money? You know, what's the rule of making money? But the man asked a question which people laughed at. But importantly, Bill Gates' answers changed him. And I believe it also changed. Bill Gates said, First of all, understand that wealth does not mean having a fat bank account. Bill Gates said, first, understand that wealth does not mean having a fat bank account. Wealth is primarily the ability to create wealth. Bill Gates went on to give an example. Someone who wins the lottery or gambling, even if he wins 100 million, is not a rich man. He is a poor man with a lot of money. That's the reason why 90% of lottery millionaires become poor after 5 years. Did you get that? You also have rich people who have no money. You also have rich people who have no money. For example, most entrepreneurs, they are rich people, but some of the times they don't have money or they don't have a lot of money. They are already on the road to wealth, even though they have no money, because they are developing their financial intelligence, and that is wealth. Remember, we are discussing how to create strong, sustainable financial personal brand, right? They're already on the path of wealth, even though they have no money, because they are developing their financial intelligence, and that is wealth. He now asks, how are the rich and the poor different? The rich may die to become rich, while the poor may kill to become rich. We are talking of financial brand. But I said it is an intangible concept. The rich may die to become rich, but the poor may kill. That is to say that the rich will keep working hard in order to make wealth. But the poor will easily do what? Kill. And that's the position of armed robbers. Not only armed with AK-47, and also with the pen. The miners of this world who use pen to take billions of our commonwealth. If you see a young person who decides to train, to learn new things, who tries to improve himself constantly, know that he's a rich man. And that is what endeared me to come to this session. If you see a young man who thinks that the problem is the state, or who thinks that the rich are all thieves, who criticizes it constantly, who thinks that the problem is his father, who didn't send him to the best school, the problem is Owerri, where there are no industries, just like Pastor IKENNA said, then know that he's a poor person, because he's busy making excuses. It's different from the entrepreneur. For an entrepreneur, wherever he is, he tries to convert something to riches. In my career, started banking in Lagos, and I read estate management university for first degree. Then I went to University of Port Harcourt, did an MBA finance. I considered it a fantastic combination. And I started then, 1990, 1991, that was when the mortgage industry was evolving in this country. So I considered people like us, as people who are going to blaze the trail, pathfinders in that industry. So I went to Lagos and I took up a job with Prime Home Mortgage Finance. Unfortunately, we didn't make it. In that era, there were massive failures of mortgage finance institutions. Ours was part of it. It's a long story, but cut short, the foundation was not ripe. Those who took charge did not know enough. They were massive failure. I left Diamond Bank then. That was about a year, because they also offered me a job to go to work with Prime Home. So when months later the bank failed, I went back to my patrons who were in Diamond Bank. I said, I'm sorry, I didn't take up this job, but see what has happened. Can I have a chance to take the aptitude test again to work in Diamond Bank? And then Diamond Bank was like 2 years. They said to me, we are disappointed. You are one of the best in your group, both the tests, the interviews, and all that. And we look forward to you, but we didn't see you. Well, since you have shown interest in mortgage finance, the first one asked me, why did you even go there? I remember then the offer in Diamond Bank was 22,000 per annum. The offer in that mortgage finance was about 28,000 per annum. So they pinned me down that it must have been because of that money. I explained to them that it is not. And I just gave the explanation I just gave to you guys. Having read estate management, done MBA finance, I felt we're going to blaze a trail. So that caught their funds. They said, okay, they are setting up a mortgage finance institution, and they would want me, instead of going to take another test and all that, since I've shown interest in this area, that I should go and work there, which I gladly agreed. And that was Dominion Building Society. And the owners of Diamond Bank was their institution. Diamond Bank wasn't in Owerri, so they said they want to enter Owerri market with Dominion Building Society. So that's how I came to Owerri to come and work with Dominion Building Society as a foundation staff. And when I think of Dominion Building Society, I just say we tried to make a motorcycle into keke napep. There's a whole lot of financial engineering we did to bring it to operate almost like a commercial bank. That the board of Diamond Bank said, is this kind of money in Owerri? Then they bought Diamond Bank in Wall Street in Kennedy. But the interesting thing about it was that while we were here working, I looked at the economy of Owerri then. Literally a rural economy. So after work, I had time. I gave my time to my job, but I had time. Remember, I had a financial branding concept that I will not be a millionaire, but a millionaire will not by me. So I had to put my time to create another stream of revenues. And looking at the economy, went into agriculture. Did quite a lot of things with agriculture. And the cobbles we are dropping in different from my revenue lines. Why do I bring up that? Yes, a rural economy, but there's something always to do. It's for you to look and find a path. That was the first business I created. Or should I call it first? No, that's not the first. The first business I created was while I was at University of Ife. And I never took my school fees, feeding fees back to Ife in cash. I took it back to Ife in shares. Thank God my father believed me. So he will give me my money 1 month before university resumes. And I go to Market Road, Kent, and all that. I buy shirts. I go to Telos. They make the shirts. So I'll always go with 2 boxes. 1, shirts. The other one, the things I use. So when I get to Ife, I start to sell as a student. We're talking of creating a financial brand. We're talking of creating entrepreneurship. It has to be part of you. When I look around and see young men walk around and seem not to know what to do, my heart bleeds. If there's anyone that says there is no job and that's why he can't make revenue, or anyone that says there's no job, that is why he's going about begging, with due respect, you answer this. The opportunities are literally all over the place. What do you want to do? You want to be a beggar? Unfortunately, the Igbo race, sorry to say, it used to be said that onye Igbo gashi, ogine mmiri, okwejoku. But today, Babiala, everybody is busy begging. Just yesterday, I went for a funeral function somewhere where we parked our car. At the time we wanted to leave, one of the ushers now came and said, is there anything we can look for a gift? And I asked him, Onyibo, can you stay 1 minute without begging? I asked him, can you stop begging? He said, no, that it's not that he's begging, that this job they're doing is a volunteer job. I said, okay, if it's a volunteer job, you wanted to help this man control traffic for him. Why are you turning into a begging venture? We need to take in our mindset away concept of begging. We must realize that there are opportunities everywhere, in and around us. That's the point I want to make. And that's what Bill Gates is speaking to. The rich are convinced that they must need information and training to take off. The poor think that others must give them money to take off. The rich are convinced that they just need information and training to take off. But the poor thinks that others must give them money to take off. In conclusion, when I say that my daughter will not marry a poor man, I am not talking about money. I am talking about the ability to create wealth in that man. Excuse me for saying this, Bill Gates goes on. Most criminals are poor people. When they're in front of money, they lose their mind. And that's why they rob, they kill, they steal. Because they don't have the intellect. For them, it is a grace because they don't know how they could earn money by themselves. And he gave an example. One day, the guard of a bank found a bag full of money. He took the bag and went to give it to the bank manager. People call this man an idiot. But in reality, this man was just a rich man who had. 1 year later, the bank offered him a job as a receptionist. 3 years later, he was a customer manager. And 10 years later, he manages the regional management of his bank. He manages hundreds of employees, and his annual bonus exceeds the amount he could have stolen. Those are the words of Bill Gates, not mine. Those are the examples of Bill Gates, not mine. And even in our local parlance, just the Anambra election, I'm sure is in the social media. The woman who refused to take, is it 1,000 or 500 in order to sell her vote. For Christ's sake, that woman, I'm sure, maybe does not know Soludo. But it's out of the richness of her conviction that she wants to exercise her right in fullness of who she believes could give them a better leadership. She refused to take whether 500 or 5,000. A peasant, so to speak. But the world has rewarded that woman today. if you are following social media and what happened subsequently. In my own institution, we also had a staff, a security man in UBA, who, like this story, returned a bag of money. In fact, that was in dollars. He came to the banking hall to say that somebody beside a car, he got this bag and returned it to management. And the customer was traced, and that was returned to the customer. In one of our year-end sessions, when we unwind, the bank decided to honor him. And there were so many governors and prominent men in that session. And the kind of naira and dollar rain that happened for that guy that day, in fact, the bank had to stop it so that it doesn't appear as if we set the guy up for fundraising. Am I speaking to people? Are we edifying ourselves? Are we getting the message? No doubt Bill Gates is well known as a money man, as a wealthy man, and he has defined what wealth is. And that's why I say, for we to create a personal financial brand, this is thesis is more than sufficient to guide us. And so from there, I now go to ask, to be an entrepreneur, what do you need? Because it's an entrepreneur that makes money. It is in the process of being an entrepreneur that you can create a financial brand that you'll be happy about, that people will hear and they respect you. The Todolos, the Dangotes we hear about, the Betos, the ABC Transports we hear. I always like to go local. Again, in my time, ABC Transport was a graduate maybe 2 years ahead of mine. And when he came out of university, he read microbiology. He started his company called Rapido, just like the chairman or president men fellowship. He said you have incorporated your company. He incorporated the company Rapido. And what was Rapido doing? He was going to Lagos, buy teaching aids, boards, the kind of whiteboard I saw there, markers. That was what he was selling. Rapido. And then in the process, he got a little money, made some savings. I remember those days, he was one of the early people that used Volkswagen Santana in this town. He got a little money. He spoke to Diamond Bank then. They gave him some facility, plus the money he had. He bought the first set of 4 or 5 highest buses. Then transportation here to Lagos was such, Chisco, Ekenedli, Chuku, Chidebere, and all that. You enter, before they get to Onitsha, they would have filled everywhere with attachment. They get to Onitsha, they start reloading and all that. He defined his own. The vehicle will load here. The driver will never stop till he gets to Lagos. He will only stop in one place in Benin where he refuels. And then inside the vehicle, because it will never stop till it gets to Benin. If you like, poo-poo there. No matter how hungry you are, so they started giving snacks. And it became something new. People who wanted to go to Lagos, reach there on time, would go to ABC and go and join that highest. Not the luxury bus. He ran that for almost a year plus. He bought his first 2 luxury buses at the same time from cash flow, supported by Diamond Bank. And that's how ABC Transport grew. He redefined road transportation. He had a brand. The buses were air-conditioned. No other person had it. Once he loads here and takes off, it's not going to stop. There's nothing like attachment. He take you to Benin. He refuels in a particular filling station off to Lagos. So you can hit Lagos 1 p.m. Then he introduced tracking to the vehicle and speed limits to the vehicles. After that, others started to do what? That's the power of He read microbiology. There were people, when he started, they said he can't make it. How can he compete with Ekene Ichuku? How can he compete with Chidebere? How can he compete with Chisco? Who is he to compete with Young Shagro? The rest is history now. And much as you may not be seeing too much of his bosses, he's heavy in haulage. Are we speaking to ourselves? He started from nothing. He didn't start with bank loan. The first thing was the idea. And probably some little savings during his youth service. Because he was selling chalk during youth service. Probably just like I was selling shirts. But I think he advanced far much further than me, isn't it? So they say all fingers are not equal. So what are you waiting for? You blame your mother? You blame Imo State government? You blame federal government? This type of Nigeria self. You aren't serious. The opportunities are replete everywhere. I use local examples to give to you. Bill Gates talked about the difference of people who come across money, they can't create wealth. One set of people that are making stupendous money today are footballers, true or false? What of Nollywood actors? But often, it's my wife who drew my attention to that these Nollywood actors, sooner than later, hear that they are ill, they can't pay their medical bill. And they are asking for Babiala, people to donate money to them. You ask yourself, what happened to the monies they made? Amongst footballers, I like to give example, J.J. Okocha. For every man trap door you see in any bank, there is only one company that brings that door from Germany to Nigeria, and that company is owned by J.J. Okocha. You know man trap door in banks? There's only one company that brings it. It has a sole franchise. They bring it in, they maintain it in every bank. It's a German company. That company is owned by J.J. Okocha. Apparently, the money he made in football, having lived in Germany, he spoke to that company and won their franchise. Are other footballers as rich as he is today? Are you hearing his noise? If I didn't tell you, will you know? Have you not heard of many footballers that they say they are looking for money to pay their medical bills? That's what Bill Gates is saying. That's the difference between those who have plenty money but are not rich and those who don't have plenty money but that are rich. Because they create wealth, and the wealth continues to be what? Sustainable. Remember, we're talking about creating sustainable financial. To be an enterprise, the following things, or an entrepreneur, the following things are important. There's something we call Swot Analysis. Your strength, your weakness, the opportunities, and the threat. The strengths are the things personal to you. There are some natural attributes God has given to you. For instance, I as a person, if somehow you honor me with a medical doctor certificate, manage somehow, use IT to put all the knowledge of a medical doctor in me and then bring me out as a medical doctor, I will never do well because I'm unable to stand blood. That's my weakness. All right? I'm unable to see where somebody is being caught. You can't be a medical doctor if you cannot see where somebody is being caught, unless you're going to be in administration. And before you get there, I don't know how you'll even pass the exams. Talking about your strengths, your weaknesses, you must know the things you have the passion for. Because entrepreneurship is a marathon, it's a long race, tenacity. You have to be tenacious. As IKENNA was talking about how UBA is in all states of the federation and all that. You need to be tenacious. You need to say, this fight, I'm not going to lose. Even when loss is staring you in the face, you are going to say, I'm going to go ahead. And it's only when you do things you love that you can have the mind to still stay on. So you must define, and for all of us, God has given us abundant talents. There are things God gave you that makes you stand out from the next person. Those are your strengths. You also must know your weaknesses. You must scan the environment and know the opportunities that are in the environment. There are a lot of opportunities that are, as I speak. But then there are threats to these opportunities. So to be an entrepreneur, you don't need rocket science. You don't need to, that's why I'm speaking to us without having a slide. Not one fantastic analysis. Just the simple things about you. To be an entrepreneur, you must have a vision. As far back as then, I said, I don't want to be a millionaire, but a millionaire cannot what? Buy me. And in my own little way then, I started working towards it, unconsciously so. Because I found I could make money taking shirts to Ife. And somebody could trust me to give me my money 1 month in advance for me to make the shirts. So I started working on that progress part. So to be an entrepreneur and to do well, you must have a vision. And you must be aspirational. What do we mean by being aspirational? Being aspirational means you must seek to create a business, an enterprise, no matter how small, that looks to the future. You're not creating a business for today. You're creating a business for today and tomorrow. You set audacious goals that when people hear it, they say it's impossible. Permit me to also use this example as follows. When we were in Standard Trust Bank, I was a pioneer staff in Standard Trust Bank. Our chairman now, who was our managing director then, a very young bank, we worked with a few eggheads. Took over Crystal Bank, was a failed bank, and we engineered it to be Standard Trust Bank, and we started. The trailblazers then were First Bank, Union Bank, UBA. The new generations then were Zenith, Diamond Bank, Citizens Bank, Guarantee Trust Bank. So we are just coming. And then my chairman, today is our chairman, is somebody who is very aspirational. And I thank God for the privilege of working in that institution and working with him and working through him and learning from him. He called a meeting and said, we're going to plan Standard Trust Bank in all the states of the Federation. Starting from 2 or 3 branches in Lagos. And you can imagine how everybody will look at him. What are you talking about? Even his seniors in banking did not believe it was possible, but we started. And before they could say Jack, we are in all the states federations of the country. The bank revolutionized public sector bank. And that was when I left Equatorial Trust Bank. I just joined Standard Trust Bank at that stage. I was a pioneer staff in our Aba branch. And that was how I had the responsibility to develop our business in Umuahia and Owerri concurrently. I was given a brand new 504 car, and I would crisscross from Aba to Umuahia to Owerri. The branch of Standard Trust Bank Owerri operated from the boot of my car for close to 2 months. Ditto Umuahia. And with the help of the institution and our colleagues, we set up those 2 places at the same time. As I was doing this, different people were doing in different states. And before the industry could realize it, that mustard seed, Standard Trust Bank, was standing in all the states of the Federation. The banking industry was, wow. Can this be possible? That is being aspirational. He saw beyond the moment. And when you're following a leader that is aspirational, please hold closely to him, just like Elisha held to Elijah. Hold what? Closely to him. As an entrepreneur, you have to take risks. There's no 2 ways about it. You cannot succeed without taking risks. You have to. You have to take a leap of faith, as we call it. But we qualify it that it has to be calculated risk. And what do we mean by being calculated risk? You have to think through it. Don't just do something because people are doing. Ask yourself, what are the challenges? What are the pitfalls? What if this happens? What do I do? What if this happens? What do I do? As an entrepreneur, you must venture. A lot of problems young people have is that they don't want to venture. And I'm quick to remind us that Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, Obafemi Awolowo, and Sardauna, whom we celebrate of blessed memory, go and look at their history. They started leading nationalist activities in their 20s. True or false? They started leading nationalist activities in their 20s, confronting the white man. How many of us are able to confront our local government chairman? How many young people have the courage to do that today? They took risks. Did it pay off? The answer is yes. Are we beneficiaries of it? The answer is yes. That's the role of an entrepreneur. The gains are not just for you. The gains are also for society. Pastor IKENNA said, as an entrepreneur, you have to work hard. There are no two ways about it. You just got to do what? Work hard. In recent times, they qualify that you work smart. I don't have a problem with that. But truth be told, you have to do what? Work hard. And I ask you, and I challenge you, go to look at the life of all the people we think are wealthy and successful. They have little or no time for frivolities. They have little or no time for recreation. Their work is their recreation. When John sent a mail to me that I need to send a little resume, it took me some days to do that. And if you go and look at it on my hobbies, I don't know what I have there. I just said entrepreneurship. Because all the time of my life, I'm working. All the time of my life, I'm working. One of my friends told me, Ray, we don't see you play tennis. We don't see you do this. We don't see you do that. He's been my friend for a very long time. He's able to do musicals. I went to his house some years back, and I loved his band and everything. Even if I have it, I'll not be able to do it. Probably not the best. Certainly not the best. But that's the call of entrepreneurship. That's the call of success. I don't know if any of you have seen this guy, this American comedian. If I remember his name, was doing a comedy and was scolding people who are sleeping 7-8 hours. You sleep your destiny away. What's the name again? Steve Harvey. He was telling them you are sleeping 7-8 hours. Medical doctor said yes, that's what you sleep. But you are sleeping your destiny away. Even the scripture has it somewhere. A little slumber. Huh? A little slumber. So the path to greatness, you have to invest yourself to it. Let me not talk about myself, but I'm sure I doubt if my chairman, Tony Elumelu, has up to 5 hours of sleep in a day. That would be extreme luxury. I doubt if Dangote has it. I just told you about Dr. Ironine. I don't think he has it. It is time. So if you are enjoying the luxury of 6, 7, 8 hours sleep, good luck to you. But that's the trade-off between great financial brand and great sleeping brand. How about that? So, you must be ready for the work. There are no two ways about it. Here he sits, he's a permanent secretary. I don't know how much time he has. You know, you also, these things have trade-off, and I have to let you know. That's why you see high divorce rate among very successful people. Bill Gates just divorced the wife not too long ago, right? So they have trade-offs. But the genius is the one that's able to find a mid-course, and then that God factor. Because he can always do the impossible for you. But if you are driving for career, if you are driving for financial greatness, if you are driving to be a great brand financially, there's no doubt about it. You got to work hard. You have to have foresight. You have to be the man that sees tomorrow. But I can tell you something, that in this country, the opportunities are so much that those even who don't have foresight can make it. This country. It's particularly in Europe and America. The truth is that there, the opportunities are so tight. It's a cutting edge difference, but here the opportunities are huge. You don't need so much foresight. Refuse is littered all over the place. Every person is thinking on how to take care of his refuse. Can you think of taking a neighborhood, go to door, and tell them I'll take away your refuse for you? And come back and tell me if they will agree to pay or not. Parents are crying. Schools are not teaching anything. They are looking for people to teach their children. Can you take up lessons? I'm talking of common. Does that need foresight? Basic. Even party arenas. People hold parties and the place is so dirty and they have to leave and they have to arrange to come and can you undertake to clean up party arenas? That's what our little ones do abroad. My children do it while they're in school. Say, Dad, I have work this evening. What work is it? There's a party and I'll do the cleanup once the party is over. And he or she earns some dollars. And you're here, I want her to send it to you. I said opportunities are litany. Foresight is important, but I say that the opportunities are so common that even those without foresight can. But you need something if you don't have foresight. You need integrity. We'll talk about that. Passion. I've talked about it. Tenacity. Entrepreneurship is a marathon. It's not like 100 meters. And that makes, again, the difference between the way we bankers look at people and look at businesses. And that makes a difference, from my knowledge, between the Europeans, the Americans, and the blacks. They are more tenacious. You see a small business owner in America, the business is going down, or Europe, he holds to it. He keeps struggling with it. In season and out of season. He tell you that this season was bad, last season was bad, but he's still there, trying to do what? Turn it good. In our own case, unfortunately, my experience with our people is that once the business begins to falter, they leave it. Lack of tenacity. You cannot be an entrepreneur without being tenacious. And I can give you some little examples. If you go to the industrial, what do you call it? Industrial whatever at Concord, you discover that area has been no roads, nothing. But there are one or two oil milling companies that have been there. One of them is Broken. You need exposure, knowledge, learning, networking. You need discipline and integrity, which IKENNA spoke about. And most of all, I tell people, if humility eludes you, you'll be a poor person. Because out of your riches, if humility eludes you, the riches will vanish. With humility, you can surmount all challenges. There's a debt of gratitude and appreciation. Even in the scriptures, Christ said it. Healed how many lepers? How many came back to say thank you? Pastor Ken talked about it. Those they gave their children time to pay school fees. Instead of them coming to express gratitude and appreciation, they decide to make it a police matter. You cannot build a successful brand. People cannot associate with you if they do not see doses of gratitude and humility in you. I'll take one or two nuggets so that we can wrap up. No savings, no investment. If you cannot save, you cannot make an investment. So the whole journey starts with savings. Learn how to save. Whatever you make, even if it's, some people make money, they say, what am I going to save out of this? That's the beginning of failure, to build a strong financial plan. Cash is important. Cash is important. But in these days of digital economy, you need to move to the digital space. You need to move to the digital space. There's no need carrying cash about. Cash makes spending so spontaneous. You just spend it. In fact, you lose the bits, the change. Go to the digital space. You need to learn how to build credit. You know, there's something a lot of business people don't understand, and I think you need to know this. You start building your credit record, your credit history, your credit worthiness from day one by making sure you don't fail in your debt obligations, no matter how small. Let your yes be your yes, and your no be your no. It's very important. And as a trick, I tell business people, in the course of your business, ask for credit when you have more than enough money in your pocket. The man you're dealing with, the man you're buying with from, at a stage, ask him to give you some of the goods in credit. You have money in the pocket, right? Give him you are going to pay in 1 week. 1 week? Mind you already have money. You do what? Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. You build credit history. But the mistake is that a lot of people ask for credit when they lack the capacity to pay. And of course, you're going to fail. Then you're going to destroy your credit history. Did you get that? Did you get that? That's a smart sense of business. And that's why abroad, they use more of credit cards than debit cards. A lot of business people will tell you they don't want to pay COT, they don't want to pay this. They'll be paying money into the supplier's account. You are not building your banking history, you are not building your credit history. No matter how small, create your own account. Build it up there, pay him. Build it up there, pay him. Take those charges. There's no free lunch anywhere. And finally, they talked of where people can invest money. Some of the things. We usually talk of capital market, money market, commodity market, real estate market. But I choose to call these one store of wealth. The real investment is in entrepreneurship. If you put your money in the money market is fixed deposit or savings. How much is it going to give you? So for me, I see those ones as store of wealth because you have to keep your money somewhere till you decide on what to do with it. The mistake people make is that they keep money in a fixed deposit in a savings account and they expect it to generate so much revenues with which they'll begin to eat. And then they come to the bank and say, pay me 20%, pay me 30%. Meanwhile, they're not ready to take the business risk. It doesn't work. For me, money market, capital market, real estate market is just where you go to store wealth. Commodity market, gold is a commodity market, rice is a commodity market, coffee is a commodity market. You can buy those things to store your wealth and hedge against inflation. But when you are now trading in these things, that's when it is entrepreneurship. I don't know whether I'm making sense. Dear friends, there will always be another day. And I hope to spend some quality time. I'll encourage us to also know that nothing is static. Nothing is static. Wealth is first the state of your mind. And to have a good financial brand, be ready always to be reviewing yourself in line with changes. Thank you, and do have a blessed day.
Please, can you rise up and celebrate him? All right. Thank you very much, sir. Please, can I have your seats? Please, can you celebrate him one more time? It has been a wonderful session. I hope we got something on building sustainable financial brand. I don't know about you, but I believe I've gained a lot. A lot I'm going to put into practice beginning from now. I don't know about you. And I trust that you gain something I know that will put into practice. That is what we call taking responsibility. Before you are able to call yourself rich, before you call yourself wealthy, you must be responsible, financially responsible. And that is what we are talking about this morning. All right, please, I would like us to have some questions. I believe that while our guest speaker, Mr. Ray Ahumi, was speaking, I know some questions are not coming up in your mind. Please, we don't have much time. I don't know how we'll go about it, because I know some people have already told me they have questions. And what we'll do, sir, please, I don't know if you can permit us, if we can take the questions together, and then you begin to respond, or would you like to respond one after the other?
Well, maybe we'll take 2, 3.
Okay.
We'll respond. 2, 3. We'll respond.
It's all right, sir. Please, if you have a question, can I see your hand up? If you have a question, can I see your hand up? Please, I want to know now so that I can time us. It's not when we begin to ask the question, your own question will begin to pop up. Please, can you raise your hand? I've seen one person. All right. Yeah, I've seen IK. 2. Okay, just 2 people for now. Please, can you come forward, please? Yes. All right, so you can speak from there because. Okay.
Thank you very much, sir. I quite appreciate your speech, and everything is in line. The part the last statement you made that's actually struck me, and you are saying so much about you spoke something about commodity markets, and some of us young people, a number of times, if you see a little amount of money in your hand, a lot of persons will want to entice you to come and buy land, buy house, and invest in some of those things. So, at what particular stage in a man's life or in a man's finances will he be able to start putting money in some of those things? Because there is this force about I know a lot of friends that will be like, guy, you see money in your hand, go and buy land. Do you understand? But whereas you're trying to build your business, you're trying to get to a particular level in your finances, but I've seen somebody that said he has a land somewhere, but he's hungry, he's begging you money for it to eat. So at what point in someone's finances will he be able to put money in some of those kind of commodity markets as you mentioned? Thank you, sir.
Good day all. My name is Honorable Chennaeme, aka Ochman. Though my own honorable is not a micro word, when I was in UNEC. And when he made a comment about ABC transport, what occurred to my mind is that my fellow lion is speaking. And that gave me more urge, or more courage to give him attention. Sometimes somebody can be teaching. You'll be here presently, but you are somewhere. So I so much appreciate you, though I came in late. But my question goes with illustration. And it's a kind of a practical question. I discovered that in this our generation, we have a lot of underemployed graduates. We have a lot of youth that are not doing much. Though they are capable, they are within the working age force. Now, if you have somebody, maybe he's underemployed, he has the zeal to go into other businesses or entrepreneurship, and it comes to you, I want you to help me out to underline some of those things, or let me say some of the criteria that particular person needs in order to kick off that establishment. 1, he has the zeal. 2, he's underemployed, but he has the mind of becoming somebody in future. But the money and other variables are not there. If you come across to such a person, what will you do to make that person to achieve his vision in life? please help me to do justice to that. And that may help most of us here that came for this program. Because I came for this program, though the wife of our daddy invited me. She's my sister and we work in the same place. And what I had in mind is that after this program, I want to do something meaningful to myself so that I can get to where most of you people have gotten to. So help me out to do justice to this. Thank you, sir.
Okay, let me just take this to first. At what stage do you begin to put your money in investments? If you remember, there's something I said, and that was why that nugget is important. Without savings, there can be no investment. Savings is like, if you have little stream of water flow, you can't scoop it to bath. True or false? You need to go make a hole somewhere. When it fills, then you can do what? Scoop. That is what happens with investments and what you do. Often, just like you gave a practical example, somebody will go and say, go and buy land, because that's the craze. That's the craze everywhere. Our youths are not doing anything. They are busy selling land and land and land and land. And people have bought land from here to Obete. If I had gone further, the kind of places I hear people have bought land, I begin to wonder. And I've been in this town seeing agriculturists buy land in those areas, and after a while they abandon those farms as a result of crime and stealing and all that. That's where people are still going to be buying and buying and buying and buying. The guy buys land, but he does not have money. A good businessman, you should have enough capital to grow your business. It's like a wheel. Keep turning it. As the more you turn it, the more it throws out revenues and profit. It gets to a point, you take a position yearly, you take out something for savings. So that don't take out so much that the wheel now goes like this. Because when the wheel is going like this, a little fluctuation in currency, which can be a macroeconomic, can kill the business. Meanwhile, you have land. You run to sell it. The worst time to sell land is when you need money. The worst time to sell land is when you need money. Because without your knowing, you give it out to a day that you are desperate. A land you bought 10,000, you may end up, you offer you 5,000. So, to answer you, it is a function of what you're doing and your revenues. Keep your business running. First, make savings. The saving turns into a pool that is investable. You invest in that line of business, okay? And it's easier to get people to support you with funding when you have what you are bringing. When you don't have anything you're bringing, and you're telling somebody to come and support you 100%, he's not going to be excited. The banker will first of all ask you how much do you have. An individual will ask you also how much do you have. Even if I want to help you with my own funds, I want to know your capacity. What have you even saved? So it becomes very, very important. Now, relative to what you have asked, you see, we must also understand something about life, patience. You plant a maize. It takes 4 or 5 days to do what? To sprout. It begins to come up. You begin to water it before it now takes comb, before the comb becomes mature. Often, people plant today, they want to harvest tomorrow. It's against natural law. It doesn't happen. So, one other thing too, for me, my experience, my business, that dabbling into this is not good. Stay on one thing, focus on it, give your energy to it, perfect it as it were. It begins to run that you can step aside and think of another thing. Not you are struggling with this. You want to start this. You want to start this. You will end up having all of them do what? Crumble. They will just go down. And when people come to sessions like this, they come with a mindset that they have come to take the key to open a door to wealth. Yes, but it depends on your perception. It's just like you go to a bookshop, you see how to make money, you go and buy the book, and you open it. You read it from end to end. It won't tell you, nobody tells you how to make money unless you do the doing. All right? So, for such people, if I engage them, I would like to know why they are underemployed. Why is it underemployment? And what can they do to help that situation? It's always situational. But are you underemployed here, you run over to another one? No. Let me give you a practical example. A few days ago, there's a business I helped somebody superintend, and I was helping him, a customer, to interview somebody. And a young man, an engineer, came for interview, and he came to be interviewed as a driver. After listening to him, he went to FUTA, Federal University of Technology, Akure, and he's also doing a course in systems. He read electrical electronics. And after listening to him, as he was talking, I was just reading through him. Well, at the end of the day, we recommended and that he should be offered a job as a maintenance manager. He was surprised. And when he was told his pay, the guy is from Benue, but he grew up in the West. He lied flat to time. But guess what happened? 3 days after, he was told that his schedule, because of a maintenance person, has to be from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. because the issues of maintenance in that facility is always towards evening. I was surprised that the young man said, let him go home and think about it. Did you get a gist? He came for interview as a driver. And after assessing him, BSc Electrical Electronics, Federal University of Technology, Akure. I said, no. Let's drive value in him. Make him maintenance manager. And he was giving his job description, and 2 days told, because of this, your job will be with your hours of this. And he now said that let him go home and think about it. I told the guy to fire him. I used to speak to the guy, agree. So wait, I said, when he comes tomorrow at the gate, fire him. Does that speak to something? You see, you want to eat your cake and keep it. You can't. Not in this space, not on this planet Earth. Underemployment happens even in the most developed economies. Underemployment even happens in your house. Underemployment even happens in you. When you are not using your capacity fully well, is it not underutilization? So why do we cry about underemployment? The fact that you have opportunity to have something doing, you should be grateful for that platform that gave you that. And that's the problem of our people. You should be grateful for a platform that gave you opportunity to start doing things. And I tell you, there is no limit. Even there is no limit to what can happen, even beyond the person who employed you. You can make that underemployment, the person will not see vision through you. Beyond what you thought you can do things. You say, is this possible? But when you now begin to reason, this is underemployment. Bullshit. Next question. Do we get it? In little things, be grateful. And at every point in time, give your very, very best to employ. Yes.
Please, we're having a very wonderful time here.
Do you understand?
This is. Please, can you please just take this in now?
Yeah.
Please, somebody have to just do that. Please, Uncle John, come. Please get me that chair.
See,
Please get me that
now
chair.
you know on finances. Economics I say money is what you
Please,
get
can you
for
have
exchange of goods and services. Now me will change it.
Oh, change it, babe.
Exchange of what?
Goods and service.
Goods to it or here.
Please.
Service. Nina sap. In anya moto. If you are not doing those two things, don't expect money in your pocket. Don't come to them and ask for money. Because I'm sure you people didn't record when Oga said that he sells packet shirts. As a student, I'm in a government house. Government house. I'm telling you the truth. Ask me. Because I work with the governors. You will think I have all the money and I went here and all work. It's a lie. Because my faith constrains me not to touch one cup of another man's money. So so that we can cook.
Kabu kabu.
In my banner, bottle prank no nazo government house. Eba hane me rank zeros.
Rank zeros.
And a bute doti on your chair. My hair doti on your chair. Here now unu nazo toys and a fere ndocha you bute chair in a container. And therefore, as a government house person, ngadia nguranya onye tro no krekanaba. So kochanya nine. Just walk over to government house. My friends will be tumbling over it. I will teach and my an office at my government house. When I sell those things, I make money. And you think pump sake. Right now, I'm a pump sake. But before we will come there late, rabbits. As I'm getting rabbits, goats, chicken, quail. Do you understand? So for you to go to the bank, you mentioned the issue of trust. You don't just have a bank in a cake or somewhere, but no, you have to show capacity and trustworthiness. There's no free money anywhere. Because I saw myself underemployed. Yeah. That's why I decided to add up to my employment. My father said, among my peers, none of them can compare favorably. Not because he stole money, but because he employs some secrets. Some what?
Secrets.
Yes, here. Go home and do something. Job said, I've esteemed this for more than my necessary food. Don't eat anymore. Esteem the one in and apply it to your life. Do you understand? He talked about sleep. While men slept, that thing is still happening here in the Christendom. We go home and sleep. You can't have this material and you are sleeping. It doesn't work. It won't work for you. But by the time you sleep and wake up by midnight to 1 a.m., 2 a.m., and you start winding this world, it will turn into milk and butter for you. Believe me. Do you understand? It doesn't work for me. I don't waste my time.
Why don't you put your hands together for him? At least, you know one thing is that, yeah. You know what?
Did I tell you I have Ogo? You will buy my dry season Ogo. And I'm such a hunger.
Hold your mic, sir. Please, I would like him to take his question, and then we're trying to. I'm just trying to monitor a lot of things from where I just came from. Thank God, the entire reception. I've done my part as the first song. Please, I want you to ask your question so that we can actually take 10 minutes and release him. He can meet up with. Are we having some information? Yes. Why don't you put your hands together for our speaker? Please ask your question immediately. Come over and ask, just so that the camera can capture you. You know why we're doing this is that we're going to listen to it again, listen to it again, listen to it again, and begin to apply. We're believing that by this time, they're going to give us assignments. But by this time next year, we do that every year. By this time next year, we're going to take a kind of testimonials and like say, this is what I've been able to do from this time to this time. Once there is no quality control, once there is no appraisal, once there's no goal, this is what I need to do at this particular point. Not just believing that God is going to do what? Everything for you. It's not going to work that way. There are people that are supposed to be here now, but they are not here. You know, they are not here. And tomorrow is Sunday, they're asking me to anoint them. And when I anoint them and there's no work, it becomes annoyance. To rest. Please ask your question immediately.
Sir, thank you very much for this wonderful opportunity, and you've been a role model. Sir, this is my own vision. Writing it, you see, say the book done. The other one too, the book done tear. I actualize it. Yes, God is helping. You know. If you see these ones, the ones I've done, I've cancelled it from 2012 and all that. Today, I'm 11 years in marriage. I want to ask you, due to the mentorship I've received from this ground, yes, powerfully, I've been doing very, very well, I thank God. But I want to move to the next level. But I want to ask, how do we manage this family life? As young people coming up in family, as I told you, I'm 11 years in marriage today. I'm building in the village. I've acquired land here. I'm a pressman. I left the classroom teaching career. You talked about how you worked in the bank, palm sec and all that. So how do we manage all these things where family life is dragging you? They are calling you in the village. Mother is sick. This brother needs to be established. This, and you are still saving. You know, and the vision, you have mandate of vision, you know, other things, you are writing it down, like any time I come here, I'm charged that. So how do you manage all these things and still step up to this level, you know?
All right, we have come to, are we all on the same page? How many of us are going through that same pain? You're trying to manage yourself. You're trying to, they are quite older than I am, and they are married more than, I think after my wedding, we were in his house. And he served us quail. Quail is apogas. Yes, what? Apogas. All of them. You know one thing is that my marriage just turned 15. And it's a whole lot he has done that. I believe, let me allow him to talk. Then he also... Yes, we'll now go ahead and...
All right, thank you for your question.
Why don't you put your hands together?
Thank you.
Is that what? Okay, you're taking questions too. Okay, ask the question.
Thank you so much, sir. I was a bit concerned based on the answer you gave my brother concerning commodity markets and money markets. And now, what is trending is the crypto world. I have not really been convinced. I want to hear from a professional, and now you are in the banking sector, and owing to what is going on right now, the government's placing a ban on crypto, but you see a whole lot of young persons going into crypto trading, into non-fungible tokens. So I want to know, based on what is going on, every young man will tell you there is no job and they want to invest in some of these things. Is this something you recommend? Especially this, they will tell you become a millionaire in this and that and that. So can you actually, based on the money you have, the resources you have, encourage someone to invest in non-fungible tokens, in cryptos? Is this something you can recommend as a banker? And why is the federal government placing a ban on crypto? Is this something we should not go into, or is this something you are advising us to go into as young people?
All right, thank you. Maybe I'll start with the last, but it's also related to the first. We need to understand the real concept of life. Life is real. Life is not cast in imaginations. One, I don't know what is cryptocurrency. I don't know what it is. The ultimate financial institution regulation in this country, Central Bank of Nigeria, they say don't touch. Now the question I ask people is, why don't we keep life simple? Do the thing you know. You're not finished investing in Naira and Kobo and all that. You are talking about cryptocurrency. What is cryptocurrency? Why do you bother yourself with that? Can we keep life simple? I want to save you from destruction by not going into the details of it. What you don't know, you don't go into it. And what your master says you shouldn't do, can you quietly just step away from it? There is, there's the craze, and that is the deceit of the young generation. You leave the things you're supposed to face the things you're not supposed to face. Cryptocurrency. What is it all about? Where did you read that? The central bank that regulates your Naira and Kobo, regulates dollar and all that, says, take it away. We don't know what it is. And you are still asking my humble self. Central bank says we shouldn't do it. Don't do it. I am dead sure I am not misadvising you. And you don't need to waste too much time about it. You know why the devil gets us? Let's just be a little bit spiritual. When we now begin to try, you see a lion lying down looking at you. You do it like this, not do anything. You cross like this, he looks you. You go there. Unknown to you, it is taking time, the age when the lips, you just take it. And you just be dancing in front of you. I belong to the school who says, I don't need to dine with the devil. Talk of dining with long spoon. I don't know if that helps you, but I know you are not satisfied. You will still go on to find reason to do it. So I leave you there.
What I will tell you, listen, what I will tell you is this. Everyone here embrace change. Embrace what?
Change.
In the civil service, someone behind about stencil and typewriter. All those people that did
Stenography.
you saw what computer did to them? Most of them can't even use the computer now. So embrace what?
Change.
My dear, go and study. I say study to show yourself. Take time and read and research on crypto and Bitcoin and Ethereum and all of them. By the time or more. Okay, see, the volume of knowledge in that in Jinaka, you can't exhaust it. That's simple. So go and study.
Google it.
Google it and study. No, you might be like, well, I'm jogging here with Bitcoin and they only get a quick whack. And all that ignorance we hear.
That is where the
people find out. I'm here.
You find a whole lot of people, they were able to like maybe get savings, get some few monies, about 300,000, 1 million naira, and somebody tells them that they have to get into Ethereum, cryptocurrency, and all. And once the person gathered money, into that place, before you know it, disappears.
Well, you see, it's also related to what do you call it? Before I don't know, maybe people were young, but you do hear of Umano. Over time, we've seen all that. But what drives people there is greed. How can somebody tell you you pay interest rate of 10% in a month? What business returns that?
Where will it go?
And then you want to be lazy, you'll be sleeping, and then money
The
will be
money is
manufactured.
supplied. It doesn't
What they do is a game. They keep collecting and be giving, keep collecting and giving. When the pool is big, just like I did, they close it, and that's it. And in your lifetime, as you have had 2-3 times of it, me, I like to stop it by. I don't waste time with frivolities. I'm a practical person. Even as a banker, like I said, I read. I know a lot of things to tell you, but it's not going to add anything to you. It's not going to help you. I take you on a journey, then I get there, say, you see, the road is closed. Okay. Quickly to
The question that he was asking, there is 11 years, has a lot of things. How do
I get in well. You know, I come with a perspective about marriage, and I can tell you, if there's anybody that has enjoyed a good marriage, I am one.
put your hands together now?
I am one. When I go to weddings and hear people are being advised that marriage is like thorns, is that, all those things. I'm a Catholic, giving priest say it. I'll just be reflecting. I just feel pity. I just feel pity to those that are being advised and to the person that is advising. When I hear people complain about their family, I get surprised. There is no life for you without family. And you will only know it when you get to a near terminal state. You discover it's only that family that is there for you. The people who have developed further than us, we say they don't make family. They make family. We make our own by mouth. Since our generation, maybe our parents did extended family. Our parents did well with it. But now we see extended family from a negative perspective.
Yeah.
It is a blessing for you to take care of an aging mother or an aging father. Please, work on yourself. When you hear about the illness of your father or your mother or your uncle or anybody other than you, don't take it as a burden. See it as an avenue for a blessing. What you can give, you give. What you don't have, the depth of gratitude in you, God sees beyond you, is enough. And people, there's a body chemistry. There's a way you touch a sick person. You don't have money. But something happens. Healing happens. Healing happens. Good doctors will tell you. That's why somebody will be ill, as they say, they want the family to be around. Okay? Stop, please, seeing the pressures that come from families as negative. Have you ever thought of people who don't have families?
Oh.
Have you thought about orphans? Somebody who didn't know his origin and he found himself in a house. And someday, in the midday of his life, somebody comes to tell you he's not from that village. This person is not your father. This person is not from you, and all that. And he starts looking for how to look for somebody he call his own. Do you know what it is? In your own case, you have people around you. Your only problem is priority. Prioritize. I've said it. We must learn to be patient about life. You're building in the village. You are doing this. Your cousin is calling you to do this. This one is calling you to do this. This one is calling you to do this. Do the ones you can do with a dose of goodwill. With a dose of goodwill, that you can do, you do. Onye owere shi erikpo ole ji agwa onye ọrịa. That you don't have money to give, but you visit the sick, is something. I don't know whether I'm speaking to you. So let us stop seeing those pressures will come. And that is the real essence of life. I don't know whether you have helped people solve problems. And then someday you see them in a good state. I don't know whether you have a stream of joy and happiness
for
that
helping
comes
somebody.
through. Is unmeasurable. I don't know if also you have experienced where you could help somebody, you didn't, and the person came out of that problem, and you suddenly see him, the shame you feel sad. That, in fact, you want ground to open for you to do what? To enter. I'll leave it.
I think, just like, put your hands together for him. For me, I'm a very multitasking person. Like, for instance, I always talk about the issue of big picture, manage the system and all that. Like, for instance, my little brother, you know, one of the problems we have is lack of planning. Please, I need to. Lack of planning. My younger brother, I think I'm able to help him in 2 jobs before he was able to get a work in First Bank, and finally he got himself in a university. He made third class. He made third class in marketing, in Polytechnic, because of some misbehavior. He's 39 years. He's wedding today. That's very old. But somehow, I've been able to push him to do a PGD. You might not be able to give somebody money, but you'll be able to assist the person move to the next level. The more you help people move, that's your problem. Now, finally, he's getting married. And I know he's wedding. And we have fixed this program since last year. This program you're meeting today, we planned for it last year. By December, we plan for the one of what? Next year. You know what happened is that on Wednesday, my brother did his traditional wedding. And I know that today, I'm not going to give him my full day. So I had to be with him on Wednesday for his traditional wedding, spoke to the traditional people, settled the bills, and did what? And walked away. So today now, I've gone to the place, blessed his marriage, took pictures with him, and I'm here. I've done my part. He called me this morning. I said, okay, have you gotten wine, water, and all that? I had to buy it for him. I said, that's all for you. Thank you. God bless you. You and your wife. Move. You find a situation where we want to do everything. You are not a Superman. You are going to kill what? Yourself. And the problem of people is that you don't know your capacity. I know my what? Financial capacity. I know my emotional what? Capacity. Somebody is telling me, daddy, he ain't do too much. What's your problem? There are things where I'm living presently, I don't like it. I want to pack out. And I want to buy my wife a car. But I found out that there are things around me. So I have to please speak to my wife. I said, please manage with me a little bit. Let's get a little things in order. We need to put up this building for the school. We need to put up this place for the system. And you find out that I'm a very calm person. It doesn't matter the pressure. You don't push me around. If I want to do something, this is what I do. You don't push me around. But the problem is that you want to do this, you want to do this, you want to do, and you know you don't have the funds. You don't have the funds, you don't have the wherewithal. And another thing also has to do with network. Most times you may not have the money, but you need to make friends who can actually what? Assist. A friend of mine needed about 1.8 million to do colonoscopy. He had a little bit of perforation on the large intestine. And he was asking for that money, and pressures were me, Minister of Education, we need to register. You know what I did? I had to reach out to my friends. I said, there's a friend of mine, he has this challenge. Can anybody support? Whatever you can do, no problem. People brought 40, 50, 60, and that guy is alive. And he's most grateful. And you know what? The place he went through, he entered a boat, that to Mogoma Road, and the car had the gallop, and the stomach opened. So I made up my mind that I'm going to give him my Jeep. Any day he's going to go for checkup. Just drive him so that he can have something big that will take him to the place and come back. Do you know that I may not be giving him cash, but that comfort of using my car to go. So any day he's going, 2 days, I will relax. I will relax. And then he goes. So the most important thing here is for you to plan yourself, for you to be able to follow things one after the other. There's what is called the law of process. There's you, no matter who you are, it will take you time to finish 5 years studying law, 1 year Nigerian law school. You don't jump in. Somebody is 19 and he wants to drive the kind of car that my brothers came here with. That guy is going to steal. No, he's going to steal. And you know what motivational speakers tell you? There are no millionaires, there are no billionaires now. He said, our era is an era that you don't need to be 60 years to be a billionaire. That is true and that is false. You don't need to be 60 years to be a billionaire. But you need to go through some process to be. And this is one of the challenges that guys are still, look at how many people are wasted. Why? Because of lack of responsibility. Before we release put your hands together for him, please. Has he been a blessing to you? Has he been a blessing to you? We are so grateful, and sorry I had to rush out to attend. You know, this is family something now. If they don't see you there as the first son, they will say, see, he didn't come. You don't have any reason not to be there. So you have to be there to make sure that I do what? Show myself, pray for him, bless him, snap picture with every member of the family, and tell them, please, if you should leave me, let me go. Let me just ask you this question. Sir, I'm going to come for mentorship. The management, are we part of it? Are we part of it? I like people talking to me. The best thing that I've ever done in my life, I like sitting down under somebody and they talk to me. Direct me, chisel me, correct me, but let me become better. Sir, please. What has actually kept you going through the pain of climbing the process and the ladder? That's number one. And number two, because this is life now. Your Oga Tony Elumelu, this man has become an icon. Yes or no? And he has done a lot of foundation, humanitarian projects. Please, sir, you are close to him. What is this calmness in this man? What are the various systems that you have been able to create that has taken him to that level? And what can we, as a church, as an organization, extract from UBA? Could you imagine if our church operates like what? UBA.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. Maybe I start from the last and then go to the first. We speak glowingly about our chairman. From time to time, we have the privilege. And I can tell you a few things. I can't tell you all. Maybe the day we'll have the privilege to meet, but I can tell you some of the things we pick from him. He has passion for what he does.
Passion.
He has passion for what he sets his hand to do. 2, he is a sworn successor. That's how, he didn't say it, but that's how I interpret him. For everything he puts his hand on,
He's a sworn
successor. He
Yeah.
succeeds in everything he does. Because he gives his all to it. He gives his all. He gives his all.
He
to
gives
it,
his all.
to it. Let me give you a practical example. There was a day he visited Imo State, and I went with him for a function in Abreba. And on our way back during Christmas, that Mbise Road area, there was so much traffic. And it was built to travel that night out of the country. You know, our airport, after some time, the flight can't fly because it's late. So we are running short of time. That was when I had my gum injury, but I was healing. When he got to a stage, he asked me, Ray, how many minutes will it take from here to the airport? I said, if the road were clear, 10, 15 minutes. He said, but with the situation of the road, what is the alternative? Before I could say something, he said, can you stop a bike for me?
Wow.
And as he was saying, can you stop a bike for me? He was already taking his bag, hanging over himself, about to step down to jump on a bike on Omahia Road in order to catch his flight so that he could leave before it gets a time the flight cannot leave. It's a private jet. So if the landing facilities were okay, he could leave. His flight out of the country should be about 12 midnight. But because of that, I was sitting beside him. You can imagine how I was feeling, how uneasy I was feeling. So I stepped down with my walking stick, and to the glory of God, God never stops being God. I had the courage, moved towards the traffic, and began to control the traffic with my walking stick. By then, he had come down, and the vehicle started moving. He entered again, controlled the traffic, we came there, I jumped in, and we took off. I don't know how many people that can imagine at his level, he wanted to join a motorbike in Agatu in order to keep his time. That's why I say that he gives his all. When I told you that I doubt if he has 5 hours sleep in a day, if he has 4. We hold meetings till late. His energy is unstoppable because his passion is unstoppable.
His energy is unstoppable and his passion is unstoppable.
He exercises all the time. But the greatest strength I think he has is that he has capacity to identify talents and surround himself with people. Even people who you believe know more than him, he's ready to work with you. He's ready to work with a kid. He's ready to work with a Methuselah. He's ready to work with any person. He does not control from the back. He leads from the front.
Wow. Put your hands together. Put it up for Mr. Tony Elumelu. Put it up for him, everyone.
So for us, he's been a role model there. He's been a light we've all been grappling to catch up with. And like you say, in all that, he's calm. I don't need to tell you how many boards he sits on. Beyond the boards, how many countries he engages with the president of these countries.
He was with
beyond Nigeria.
Yeah.
And he still has time for UBA. He still has time for everything. I cannot define it. But let's leave it at that.
Put your hands together for that. I can't hear you. Are you know, one of the things we need to take away from those places is the issue of role modeling. 2 days ago, I was reading something about him. And he went to one country about 2 days ago. He was talking with the president of that country, and I tried to follow a lot of stuff about him. Listen to me. I want us to understand that we're doing this thing not because of any other thing, but we believe that Mr. Tony Elumelu is someone that every one person, every one Nigerian, every one African and everyone, Christian, should look up to when it has to do with corporate success. And this is one of the products that he has actually produced, and we are also privileged to have him here. So please just take your last response.
Then in terms of what has kept me going, well, I have a light in my leader. I'm somebody who always profess, follow the leader. I always, in all situations, both corporate, religious, family, follow the leader. I wonder why people are unable to follow. I wonder. Even when you believe you know more than the leader, you have a simple responsibility to support the leader to succeed.
Support the leader
to succeed. When the leader succeeds, you also succeed. So that is one. Two, I love what I do. I love what I do as a banker. I love to see businesses develop. I love to see successes. If I have a second world, I'll still be a banker.
Wow.
Okay? If I have
Whereas people are running away, I don't want to bank job, I don't want this bank nonsense.
Now, why are they running away? There's something about the profession. Discipline is key. Discipline is key. Disposition to service is key. You must be interested to help people succeed. And you must have the spirit, the candor, to tell people the way it is. A lot of us younger ones in the industry are unable to look the customer in the face and tell him the way it is. And once you're not able to do that, it will not follow. But you know, most of all, the God factor.
The God factor.
He gives the strength. And he gives the patience and the perseverance. On the way, there are quite a lot of hurdles. But is there any profession where you don't have hurdles? Is there any career where you don't have hurdles? There is just none.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, no ladies, let's rise up and give it to him. Taking some time. Please celebrate Mr. Ray Kweme, the regional manager of United Bank for Africa. Can we just give him a round of applause? Everybody put your hands together. I want to do something now. Listen, you know, we understand in parts. My brother, my Oga John, Oga Uzoma, Oga everything. By the time he comes, you will see it in a very understandable platform. But before we do that, these people have invested time and energy in human capital development. I didn't discuss this thing with them. And the leadership of the men, we appreciate. We cannot pay for this. And I want this thing to be properly captured, please, because we want to present a special award to both of you, sirs. I thought somebody's going to be putting his hands. I want you to know that the men that God has brought across my path, we are submitting ourselves to you. And we know that anywhere you are, we can actually approach you for direction. I have this passion and I have this worry. That was what made me to step away from the normal church system. What we're doing here is not obtainable in many churches. We just talk to people, they get excited, and they go. But now we're looking at practical issues. If you're having value for your time, can I hear you put your hands together? And we know that every day we keep growing bigger and taking more steps. I would like to invite the chairman of this 2021 International Men's Conference, in the person of Mr. John Oleka. Put your hands together for him. Please don't hide your hands. Put your hands together for him. Please, the camera people, I need this thing. The best of the camera should be captured this thing, capture it properly. And so Mr. John joined us 8 months ago, right? About 8 months ago. And I began to look at a lot of things about him. You're close to him. You know that within these 8 months, some things have started happening around him. Nobody stays around me and you don't improve. I will fight you. I will hit you. And I will encourage you to move and make progress. And thank God for him. And we're believing before this time next year, a lot of stuff is going to happen around his life. And we decided to give him that responsibility. You're welcome. So God bless you. I love you and your family, and God will honor you. And also we have the president of the International Men's Leadership Forum. That's the way we don't call this ourselves Men Fellowship. We don't call ourselves Men Fellowship. We call ourselves International Men's Leadership Forum because of the international concept. We believe everybody should go. In the person of Engineer Vitalis, he's a civil engineer, and he also has his own business. Engineer, please come on, celebrate him. And then I have someone that, he talked about following a leader and being able to go through the process. Pastor Johnson is a penultimate student. He's a PhD penultimate student, and he's the director of operations of this church. And everything that we do, with all the shouting, screaming at him, I call him 12 midnight, I call him 1 a.m., I call him 2 a.m. Pastor Johnson is here. And I want to thank every one of you for coming, because immediately after now, we'll make the presentation and then we'll make progress. Are we together? And then there's someone, the first person that ever joined this church. We're 11 years. The first person that ever, he's an electrical electronics engineer, power system option. And then he had to go into project management. He does our graphic, he's a graphic designer and an IT expert. He has branched out into those stuffs. He runs his own business. Pastor Engineer Emmanuel Udeji, please come. Where you see the subject matter of, he has been there since 10 years, right? 10, right? Yes, 10 years. He has been there since 10 years. Yes, anything you see here, the designs and all that, the graphics and all that, he does that. And then with all my shouting, I can drive you crazy. I can drive you crazy. On behalf of, please come, on behalf of the leadership of the men, we want to present to you an award of honor to Mr. Ray Ekweme, Ray Ahumibe, for your contribution to human development given during the International Men's Leadership Summit 2021 on 20th November 2021. Can we put our hands together? Let's put our hands together. Give him a big shout. Give him a big shout. A big shout. So we thank you so much. And while you're still holding that, we're giving my brother, my uncle, my Oga, the Pastor John Uzoma, for your contribution to human capital development given during this day. Please, any day you look at this, you know it was given to you by this wonderful man. We appreciate you. We love you. Please, I would like us to take pictures. Hope we are catching that. For they are jolly good fellow. Sing. For they are jolly good. For they are jolly good fellow. And so all of us. I want to bless you. I want to ask the Lord to replenish you beyond measure. Your deposit in our lives will not be forgotten today. We do appreciate every one of you. God will give you life. We are just willing to submit ourselves for direction always. And God will honor you. May the Lord bless your family. May the Lord reach out to you on every side. In the name of God the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, and let the people of God say a big amen. Please, I would like us to, please hold this for him. I told you to go and wear your suit. Please, all the men on suit, come.
While we are getting together, let me just say a word of thank you. All right, thank you so much. When I was invited to this session, I just felt it was an opportunity to share ideas and encourage people, and also get encouraged too. I didn't know there was this dose. I know it was coming from a church organization. I didn't know there was this dose of the spiritual aspect. And I also was not expecting this. But since you thought it wise, I thank you so much. I encourage every one of us to be faithful to what is noble. Be faithful to what is noble. I was enthused when you said, when I had the, reading about the mission or the vision or what they aspire to do. That's like creating complete men, spiritually and temporally. The disconnect is that in some places we would have been casting and binding the devil. Meanwhile, the devil is kilometers away.
Very away.
And we refuse to cast and bind ourselves. But I discovered that here you cast and bind yourself and cast and bind the devil.
Yeah.
So we'll be able to make heaven even well on earth. So I thank everyone, and I thank my beloved brother and friend. We've been in this journey together, coming from different areas. I coming from the private sector, and him from the public sector. I also thank John, who was the go-between, who brought me to this. It's been a long time with John and Ade, and our path crossed also on this issue of entrepreneurship, followership, and having a passion for excellence. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. We appreciate Uncle John. Do you have anything to say? Or we get the pulpit for you because we're leaving the stage for you now.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Yes.
Please get the pulpit for Uncle
But
John.
in that same vein, I want to say thank you to each and every one of you that have supported my friend IKENNA. It's my own. You understand? Intimate friend. And I want to say that none of you will be small.
Amen.
Smallness will not be identified with your lineage.
Amen.
For you to have put your hands here, your names will be heard internationally.
Amen.
Let me tell you that which cripples men, you are exempted from it.
Amen.
Exempted from the evil of the day. Your ways becomes prosperous now in Jesus' name. Thank you and God bless you.
You're with the mic. And while we thank you so much, we have taken your time, sir. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
You so
I love you. I love you so much.
All right. While I walk him down, sir, let's put our hands together for.
Praise the Lord.
Yes.
All those are mine. Thank you. Thank you. Praise the Lord. We've been sitting for quite a while. I don't know about you. Can we just